According to quantum field theory, what you call particles are just excitations of underlying fields. The electron is an excitation of the electron field. The photon, the electromagnetic field. These fields are everywhere, even in empty space. Here's the shock. Your sensory organs cannot detect these fields directly. You see only the visible spectrum, a narrow window from 400 to 700 nanometers, less than 0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. Your brain evolved to survive on the African savanna, not to perceive quantum fields vibrating at 10 raised to the 20th power hertz. You are blind to 99.9965% of reality. In the next few minutes, we will search for the answer to 5 reasons your perception is a lie. From evolutionary mismatch to quantum decoherence, no metaphors, only quantum field theory. Before we begin this journey of exploration, please hit the subscribe button to help support us in bringing you even higher quality content in the future.
I see a table, a chair, you, me, the stars. Everything seems solid, real. But you're saying it's not? That what I'm experiencing is a kind of agreed upon hallucination, a collective illusion generated by my biology?
This table is 99.9999% empty space. Electrons orbiting a nucleus. What you feel is solid is electromagnetic repulsion between atoms. Your hand never actually touches anything.
So my whole life, I've been touching nothing? My hand is just hovering above the atoms? Every handshake I've ever given was just 2 electromagnetic fields repelling each other in empty space.
Your senses evolved for survival, not for truth. They show you a simplified version of reality. 5 causes explain why. And here's the unsettling part. The truth is not just hidden, it's actively filtered out. Your brain isn't passively receiving reality. It's actively constructing a usable fiction and discarding the rest. Everything is made of fields. Quantum fields? There's an electron field, a quark field, a photon field. These fields are everywhere. What you call particles are just vibrations in these fields.
So particles aren't little balls, they're ripples like waves in the ocean. But if everything is just vibrations in fields, then what I call myself is also just a disturbance, a complex standing wave in a sea of quantum fields?
An electron is not a tiny ball. It's an excitation of the electron field. It exists everywhere at once until you measure it. Your eyes see a solid world because your brain simplifies the quantum chaos. This is called the measurement problem. The act of observation collapses the wave function from a cloud of probabilities into a single, definite state. Your consciousness, simply by looking, forces reality to make a choice.
So the first cause is simple. Reality is made of quantum fields. And we can't see fields We can only see their effects. We are like fish trying to understand water while swimming in it, except the water is invisible and we are made of the same substance we're trying to observe.
Your eyes evolved to see photons, particles of light, but photons are just vibrations of the electromagnetic field. Most of reality doesn't interact with light. It's invisible to you. Cause 2. Quantum vacuum fluctuations. Even in empty space, quantum fields fluctuate. Particles pop into existence and annihilate in less than a trillionth of a second. This is called vacuum energy.
So empty space is not empty, it's full of energy? Then the very concept of nothing is a lie. There is no such thing as nothing. The universe abhors a vacuum so much that it fills it with seething quantum foam.
The Casimir effect proves it. Two metal plates in a vacuum are pushed together by the pressure of virtual particles. Empty space has real, measurable energy. And here's something even stranger. This vacuum energy might be the cosmological constant, the dark energy driving the accelerated expansion of the universe. The biggest mystery in cosmology might come from the smallest fluctuations in the quantum vacuum.
So the vacuum is full of energy, but we can't see it. We can only detect its effects indirectly. That's the second cause. We walk through a storm of virtual particles every moment and feel absolutely nothing. Our senses evolved in a world of macroscopic objects, not quantum foam.
The energy of empty space is one of the greatest mysteries in physics. It affects the expansion of the universe, but we cannot feel it. Our senses evolved to ignore it. Cause 3. The limits of human senses. Your eyes detect photons in a tiny range of wavelengths, 380 to 750 nanometers. That's less than 1 trillionth of the electromagnetic spectrum.
So what we call visible light is just a tiny sliver. There's so much more. It's like we've been reading a single letter in an encyclopedia and thinking we understand the whole book.
Radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, all are the same phenomenon. Your eyes see only 1 octave out of 60. And even within that narrow window, your brain isn't showing you wavelengths. It's painting qualia. The redness of red doesn't exist in physics. It's a construction of your consciousness, a translation of a 650 nanometer wavelength into subjective experience.
So other animals see more reality than we do. We're not at the top. We're just specialized. Each species lives in its own sensory universe. It's Umwelt. The bee's world is painted in ultraviolet patterns we'll never see. The snake's world is a heat map, and we thought our world was the complete one.
Evolution shaped your senses to help you survive, not to see objective reality. You see colors, not wavelengths. You feel solidity, not electromagnetic repulsion. Your brain creates a simplified model of the world. Cause 4. The scale of reality. Human perception is tuned to a tiny range of sizes, from millimeters to kilometers. We cannot see atoms, We cannot see galaxies with our naked eyes.
So, between the quantum world and the cosmic world, there's us, a tiny middle ground. We're not at the center of the universe. We're at the center of our perceptual range, and that range is an accident of our size and evolutionary history.
Atoms are mostly empty space. Your body is mostly empty space. Every solid object is a vast void with tiny specks of matter. But your brain tells you it's solid because that's useful for survival. If your hand could pass through a table because it's 99.9999% empty space, you couldn't eat, build, or survive. Your brain evolved to treat electromagnetic repulsion as solidity and to ignore the void. The void is real, but it's not useful.
At the other end, we can't see galaxies as galaxies. They're just fuzzy patches of light. Our eyes aren't powerful enough, so we're blind to both the very small and the very large. Our entire existence plays out in a narrow band between the Planck length and the cosmic horizon, and we're oblivious to both boundaries.
We need microscopes to see the small, telescopes to see the large. Our senses evolved for survival in a specific range, not for truth. This is the fourth cause. Cause 5. Evolution shaped perception. The first eyes were simple, light-sensitive spots. They evolved to detect movement, predators, food, not to see quantum fields, not to see dark matter.
So our senses don't show us reality. They show us what was useful for our ancestors' survival. Fitness, not truth. Evolution doesn't care if we see the world accurately. It only cares if we survive long enough to reproduce.
Different species see different realities. A snake sees infrared heat signatures. A bee sees ultraviolet patterns on flowers, invisible to us. Each species' perception is tuned to its ecological niche. This has a profound implication. There is no single, correct way to perceive reality. Every brain constructs its own version, and none of them, including ours, has access to the thing in itself, what Kant called the noumenon.
So my brain is not a camera. It's a storyteller. It takes raw data and constructs a useful fiction. And I've been living inside that fiction my entire life, mistaking it for the world. The map is not the territory, and I've been navigating by a map drawn by evolution, not by physics.
Your perception is an interface, not a window. It hides reality to show you what you need to survive. That's why you can't see quantum fields. That's why you feel solid matter. Your brain is protecting you from the truth. 5 causes, 1 conclusion. You don't see reality. You see a simplified model, a user interface, the desktop, not the code.
So everything I see, colors, shapes, solid objects, is a translation. The real world is quantum fields, vibrating in ways I cannot perceive. My entire experienced reality is a user interface. Evolution gave me icons to click on, not the source code to read.
Quantum fields are the fundamental reality. Everything else, atoms, molecules, cells, organs, You is an emergent phenomenon, a pattern in the fields. Your consciousness is a pattern in the fields. This is the deepest insight of modern physics. The distinction between matter and empty space is an illusion. Both are just different states of the same underlying quantum fields. You are not a thing in the universe. You are a pattern the universe is doing.
But we can see beyond our senses with tools. Telescopes see gamma rays. Detectors see neutrinos. We've built extensions of our perception. Science is our escape from the prison of biology. It's how we hack our own limitations and glimpse the source code behind the interface.
That's the miracle of science. We are not limited by evolution. We can build new senses. We can see the quantum fields. We can detect the vacuum energy. We can touch reality beyond our biology. 5 causes, 1 universe, and a human mind that can, against all evolutionary odds, learn to see beyond itself.
So, I've been living in a simulation, not a computer simulation, a simulation created by my own brain, a simplified model of reality. But unlike a computer simulation, this one can be debugged. We can trace the code back to its source and compare the model to the reality it represents.
But here's the beautiful part. You can learn to see through the simulation. Science is a tool for seeing reality. It's not perfect, but it's the best we have. And what makes science uniquely powerful is that it's self-correcting. It knows it's a model. It invites falsification. It's the only epistemology that systematically compensates for the very perceptual limitations it discovers.
So the limits of human perception are not walls. They're challenges, invitations to build better tools, to ask better questions. They're not a reason for despair. They're the reason science exists in the first place. If we could see everything naturally, we'd never have built a telescope.
And that's the power of science. It frees you from the prison of your senses. It lets you touch the quantum fields. It lets you feel the vacuum energy. It lets you see the universe as it is, not as it appears.
We are not prisoners of our biology. We are explorers. And the universe is vast, strange, and wonderful. Most of it is invisible. But we are learning to see. We are the first species on this planet that can transcend its own sensory limits and touch the quantum fields that make us. That's not a limitation, that's a triumph.
That's what this journey has been about. Not just what we know, but how we know it and why we can't see everything. The limits of perception are not a flaw, they're a feature. They make the discovery sweeter.
Thank you, Kaler, for showing me that what I see is not all there is, for showing me the invisible. You didn't just teach me physics today, you taught me epistemology, how I know what I think I know, and why I should never fully trust it.
That's what I do, my boy. I help you see. Not with your eyes, but with your mind. The universe is waiting, and it's stranger than you ever imagined. And the strangest thing of all, the mind that does the seeing is itself made of the very quantum fields it's trying to understand. We are the universe, reflecting on itself, using tools of its own making, and slowly, painfully, learning to see past its own illusions.
The invisible world, the quantum fields, the vacuum energy. We can't see them, but we can know them, and knowing them changes everything. It turns solid objects into vibrating fields. It turns empty space into a sea of energy. It turns perception itself from a passive receiving into an active construction. That's not just physics, that's philosophy made real. Asterisk.
Quantum fields and perception. The gap between reality and experience. It's not a problem to be solved. It's a mystery to be explored. And that exploration is the greatest adventure there is.